So the first time I met Coach Mass, we were outside of St. Mary's, and Coach Mass coming in, and we're playing. I'm soaking wet, sweaty. You guys pull me out of the open gym, and you basically say, talk to him, Coach Mass. And he just started talking to me, but he just started drilling me. And the only thing that stood out to me in the back of my mind, I'm saying, this is where Coach Wright get this from. He's like, you got to pick it up. Like, look at your body. Look at your athleticism. You could dribble, pass, shoot. You could do everything. And I'm just sitting there like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And then afterwards, you guys are like laughing and joking. I'm like, was this premeditated? Like, to myself, to this day, like, me and his relationship is unbelievable.
He's the Godfather, man. He's like the Godfather, man. You watch those movies, he would do anything for you. But when he asks you to do something,
you better do it.
You better do it for him. And he counts all of us as a part of his family.
How did you get introduced to him?
Well, first of all, growing up in Philly, they were my favorite team. In '85, when he won the national championship. Well, let me back up. I would have been a walk-on at Villanova rather than to be a starter at Bucknell. I would have been. But they didn't want me, and I get it. I wasn't good enough. But I just loved Villanova basketball. I thought he was the greatest. When I got into coaching in '83, '84, he wins a national championship in '85. So I was working their camps, trying to learn from him. In the summer of '85, he would do this thing at camp where 850 kids here. You go through camp all day until 9 o'clock at night. And then at 9 o'clock, he has what he calls individual instruction. It's voluntary. But every coach there knows you better go up to those courts and you better teach. And if you're a kid and you're a player, you better know, you better be there. And he would go up there and see what coaches were working. I remember him coming by watching me. You know, and you're a young coach and you see, oh, there comes Coach Massimino. He's walking by.
Pick it up.
Yeah. And finally one night he stopped and he said, what's your name? You know, I said, Jay Wright. Jay, I've been watching you. You're doing a good job, kid. And like that, you know, that was like getting it from the Pope. You know, that was the next summer working his camp. You know, he knew who I was. And then the next summer, Steve Lapis, who ran the camp, got the head coaching job at Manhattan College, and I was assistant at Drexel. And Steve Lapis said, he likes you, man. You might be able to get a job here. So I interviewed, and then I get hired here. We would go into restaurants, Italian restaurants, wherever we were. He had a boy at an Italian restaurant. Tommy Lasorda would come with us. We'd go to dinner. He'd go meet Frank Sinatra, and we'd have guys on our bench. Bruno Sammartino, the wrestler, would be on our bench. Harry Como. Anybody who was Italian loved him, knew him. We would go into restaurants. He would go, these are all my boys. They're all Italian. We'd sit down, we'd eat and drink it. And he did that for like my first 3 months on the job. Finally, after 3 months, I go, hey, coach, you know I'm not Italian. He goes, you're not. He goes, you're not Italian? I said, no. I said, you never asked me if I was Italian. He goes, you look Italian. Look at you. You're dark. You got black hair. You act like it. You dress good. You got to be Italian. I said, no. He goes, don't ever tell anybody you're not Italian.
I swear I thought you were just from the big pasta dinners we used to do. Yeah. Like you said, nice suits. I was like, yeah, coach is Italian. Then he was like, oh, I'm German. And I was
German
like, oh,
Irish,
yeah.
man.
I was like, oh, man.